Hey guys, here I am Sharon D'Souza. Check out Check Sports on eBay. Mention my name when you buy something. Sharon D'Souza here. That's Sharon D'Souza. Check out all the links down below. So, as promised, I am reading from this book. Uh, One chapter at a time, one page at a time. So, we are on part 2 of chapter 1. Well, page 4. I'm gonna revisit what we read and just backtrack a little bit for it, and then yeah, go from there. Remember to like and subscribe, like and follow. All right, so here we go. I think last time we stopped at what it says in the will. Ah, yes, that is better, much better. Now let's see. Let me see what it says here. Miss Tilly has left $1 million to you with the understanding that you will use it to further the literacy program with which the two of you were involved. That's hardly a difficult condition, although I wonder why she didn't leave it directly to the foundation. Obviously, Miss Fletcher, because she trusted you implicitly to do the right thing, which I certainly will do. But there's more. Oh, are you aware of a gentleman named Wanmaker Jones? Yes. I mean, I certainly didn't know him. He was dead long before I first met Tilly. What about him? Are you aware that Mr. Jones died under mysterious circumstances? Uh, I now rewound my memory. Yes, I said. Tilly told me that he'd been shot by an intruder right there in her home. Exactly. And are you also aware that Mr. Wanamaker Jones' killer has never been apprehended? Another pause for me to recollect what Tilly had told me. I believe I did know that Mr. Richardson, if I recall correctly, his murder was very big news in Savannah. It's still an unsolved crime? Very much so, Miss Fletcher, notwithstanding the professional efforts of the local constabulary. Very much so. Um, which brings me to the condition of bequest. Miss Tilly has made to you, she is leaving you this money on the condition that you solve Mr. Jones's murder. My laugh burst out of me. That's a most unusual condition, isn't it? His laugh was gentle and wise. Miss Tilly was an unusual woman, Miss Fletcher. There is a limit to the time you have to honor her request, however. Exactly 1 month from the day you arrive in Savannah and have the specifics of the will read to you by yours truly. I'd be standing during the call. Now I sat. I'd been standing during the call. Now I sat and tried to make sense of it all. Mr. Richardson continued. I should mention that the $1 million bequeathed to you, Miss Fletcher, is but a portion of the wealth Miss Tilly has left behind. Having no direct descendants, she has directed that sizable amount of her estate go to various social and charitable causes, charitable organizations here in Savannah. but she seemed to take particular pleasure in incorporating you into her final wishes. You must know I am not a detective, Mr. Richardson. Oh, Miss Tilly makes that plain in her will. She says, "Excuse me, while I find that precise section. It's the longest will I have ever seen. More than 50 pages. Aha! Here it is. I can read it to you word for word when you arrive in Savannah. For now, allow me to paraphrase. She says that while you are a writer of murder mysteries and not someone who sets out to solve murders, you have the good fortune to have ended up doing precisely that. She goes on to say that her experience with law enforcement officials has left her skeptical as to their ability to solve particularly difficult crimes, especially murder. I must add, however, that I myself have always found them most efficient. Nevertheless, Miss Tilly was hard to convince otherwise, once she taken to a notion. Therefore, you, Miss Fletcher, are the one in whom she is placing her trust. I shook my head, then realized he couldn't see the gesture. This is too bizarre for me to contemplate at the moment. I can certainly understand that, Miss Fletcher, but let me reiterate that there is the question of time. You have 1 month once you've arrived in Savannah, but you must also plan to be here within a month of my phone call to you. Miss Tilly was extremely specific about such things. It would be a tragedy if the $1 million were lost to your literacy foundation. Tragic indeed. Who would receive the money if I decline to do this, Mr. Richardson? That remains to be seen, I'm afraid. If you decline to come to Savannah, Miss Fletcher, or if you do come and fail to solve the crime, we are to open a sealed envelope that contains further instructions, including the disposition of the house and the $1 million bequest. But until then, no one is privy to its contents, not I nor any of my colleagues. To my knowledge, everyone else is already provided for. Of course, there are Miss Tilly's niece and nephew. Mr. Richardson's voice rose, and his speech became clipped. They are expecting to inherit the property in town, which is worth more than $1 million. In any case, they are, and this is entirely off the record, not in the least deserving of any additional money. But of course, that is purely my personal judgment. Alright, we'll stop there. This is page 7, the top part. There's several more pages of this to go. But I think we are going to be stopping at a good point. So remember to like and follow, subscribe, and share your comments down below. Share with other places and look through my referral links. Alright, see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.